Hey guys, what's up? It's Pixelated-Apollo. Thanks for stopping by. Today we are playing Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD. It's a 2 vs 2 siege battle, and I am one of the attacking armies. I'm commanding the Grand Principality of Serbia, and on the other side of the city we have Jackyfish leading the Empire of Nicaea. The two defenders, we have the Crown of Aragon, and helping Aragon we have some Hungarians. So this city is really cool, mostly because of this section right here. It's like a little island in a river. It almost looks like it's surrounded by a moat, so it has a very medieval vibe to it. So it should be a pretty sweet battle. But before we get started with this fight, I do have some very important announcements. If you look in the description, there is a link to a very important survey. This survey is going to be about how to improve my videos in my channel. It's going to be a wide range of questions about my commentary, about my camera work, about how I present the videos. It's going to be major things and minor things alike. The reason I'm doing this is because lately I've been looking at my channel very objectively and watching my videos and trying to critique them, but it's kind of hard to do that when you're the person making the videos. So, you know, like when you write an essay and you need someone else to look at it just to get a different perspective. But what better way than getting the opinions from the people that I'm entertaining? So if you guys could fill it out, it might take a little while. It's going to be pretty long because there's going to be a lot of questions. If you don't have time, that is A-okay. I completely understand. We have lives outside of YouTube. But if you want, you can just leave a quick comment in the comment section. Be sure to leave a positive critique, which I don't think, is that a thing? Positive critique? Just leave something positive, and then below that, leave some constructive criticism. Not that I need you guys to make me feel better before you like critique my videos. I just want to see what you guys like about my videos, and then what you guys necessarily don't like, or something that I can improve on, or whatever it may be. So yeah, you know, as a YouTuber, I want to be constantly changing in a good way, not drastically, just subtle changes that will improve my videos. I never want to stay flat, you know, I never want to do the same thing over and over and over to where it gets really boring. I always want to spice things up. And hopefully with this survey that can help me out, and hopefully in the future I can improve my videos as I go on. So that, you know, that's the goal. It's always getting better. The next video, it's going to be better than the last video, is the kind of mindset I have. The other announcement is that I'm going to be changing up the way I edit my videos, and it's going to be very subtle, so it's not going to be anything drastic. Basically, what I'm going to do is record my videos just like I would always do. And then if there was an epic moment in the battle, so for example, there was an epic cav charge, or there was artillery crashing down into a big pile of troops, what I'm going to do is go back, watch the replay again, and then record that moment at a different camera angle. That way we get the absolute best camera angle and we really capture it. Because sometimes during a replay, you can miss some pretty cool stuff. So maybe this way will make the videos a little bit more cinematic. We'll see. You'll see it in this video. Just let me know how you feel about it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we can get started with this battle finally. I do want to thank you guys ahead of time for answering that survey. It does mean a lot to me, guys. And yeah, let's begin with my army, the Serbians. I've got 2 units of the Serbian spearmen. I have I got 1 heavy cav. It's the Vlastela. Very cool looking cav, very deadly cav too. And then for my archers, I have some Serbian archers, and I have 3 units of the Serbian crossbowmen, which look really cool, heavily armored, ready to go, very experienced. And then for my swordsmen, I've got some Serbian auxiliary swordsmen. This is like my best sword infantry. They don't look like super flashy, but you know, they get the job done, and that's what matters most. And then the rest of my infantry, let's see, what do I got over here? I think they're mostly on the towers, so it's kind of hard to see them. But they're called the Bashtinkits. But I don't know. I don't even know if that's close. Whatever. They're pretty. You'll see them in action. Here's my general. It's the Serbian Grand Prince, and I have 2 catapults and 2 halberdiers. All right, so let's move on to my allies' army. Jackie Fish. Oh, man. Oh, why does he have to bring the Empire of Nicaea? A bunch of names I don't know how to pronounce. But he's bringing some heavy cav. He's got some cataphractoi. I think 2 units of them. They look so cool. They look so awesome. I do love my Byzantine boys, that is for sure. He's bringing some Varangian Guard. I think he's actually bringing a lot of Varangian Guard. Or actually, I think you can only bring 1. So, yeah, he's going to bring them. And he put a lot of chevrons. If you can see, there's 3 chevrons on them. So they're going to be very useful at breaking down shields and destroying dreams. And then over here, we've got some Rus mercenaries. That is awesome. I had no idea that they had some mercenaries from Kievian Rus. So he's got like 3 units of them. And then he's got the Skutatoy swordsmen. In the back, he's got some Skutatoy. So this is the standard spears. Over here, he's got some Gasmulo. Yeah, I don't know. that obviously wasn't close. But yeah, it's a crossbow unit. Here's his general back here. The Emperor's bodyguard. Oh, the purple capes. That's what I would wear into battle, a purple cape. Purple is my favorite color. I don't know why. It's just such a grand color. It's a royal color. And then he's got some Spatharoi guard. This is a pretty elite guard, and I think that's pretty much it. A lot of these Spatharia, I don't know. I can't get these names, man. I'm so bad with names. I'm terrible. Let's move on to the Crown of Aragon, who I think most of his army's over here. He's bringing, let's see, they're kind of mixed together, but he's got some spear sergeants. We'll go ahead and do normal speed, by the way. And then he's got some pikemen over here. Pretty cool pikes. It's not, I don't think it's the best pikes. Look at that, they're getting around the boxes. That's actually pretty cool. This is a really cool city. You got this nice like port back here, and look at the bridge is going up for this boat. I'm getting sidetracked. Let's go back to these armies. Jeez. Yeah, bringing a lot of spear sergeants, which is really interesting because spears, I mean, they're good in this game, but I think it would be better to have more swordsmen. And then here's some heavy swords right here. Almocaden. They got the nice teardrop shields. And he also has some sergeants over here, which is really good. Sergeants are kind of like the feudal knights of Medieval 2 in this game. And then looking at the Hungarians, he's bringing some actually, this is the Crown of Aragon. Crown of Aragon has some gendarmes. The Hungarians actually have a really small army. They've got a couple handgunners. They're bringing a lot of Pavis spears, which here are some right here. Very nice. Always glad to see these guys on the battlefield. They look so cool. And I think that's pretty much mostly what he's bringing is those Pavis shields. He does have some swordsmen in the mix. I think they're over here. Yeah, their army is just all over the place. Actually, no, that's Aragon. You'll see them in the battlefield. Come on, enough of that. All right, so let's get started with this fight. Okay, so here we go, guys. The battle has begun. I think what happened over here is that one of the defenders shot a catapult, and we were still setting up our forces, like we weren't ready. So once he fired that catapult and destroyed some of Jackie Fish's catapults, we were like, no, we're not waiting no more. We're going in. It's kind of like when you're trying to talk things out on the battlefield and then some random guy shoots an arrow and kills someone. It's like all things are off the table. We're going in. We're attacking. So we were pretty upset about that. Not really, but you know, we're like, we're not waiting anymore. We're going in. I want to use the tactical view a little bit more, so I'm going to be trying to use that in my videos. But we can kind of look at the defense. Oh man, they look a lot more intimidating in this view, honestly. You see all the different units, but they are keeping back a lot of reserves to try to protect the town center, obviously. But he does have a couple swordsmen, crossbows, and spears ready to hold the walls. If we see over here, my swordsmen, mostly my swordsmen are going for the walls, and the same thing for Jackie Fish. He is pushing up some infantry over at this side, though, of the gate. All right, so let's head back over to the normal view. So here we go, guys. It looks like we've got some spear sergeants. They're going to be the first ones to defend this city. They look really cool, though. I do like these spears. Let's get a nice view of these guys. Oh yeah, man, this mod's so great. It's just so awesome. It really is. And then I've got my ram over here. This is a mistake that I make all the time. Never. Listen to me, guys. If you're trying to get better at this game, this is one way you can learn from me. never ever send your most elite infantry to push the ram, because they are just getting peppered down from arrows. But meanwhile, my swordsmen are about to charge down here. There they go. They're going into the walls, or onto the walls, to fight the troops. They've got their maces out. They do look a little goofy when they jump down. Doesn't look natural, but hey, whatever. It's a game. What can you do? Pretty sweet fight. The swordsmen look kind of confused. They're like, what do we do? Some of them are just kind of standing there looking at the view. They don't realize they're getting attacked. And then I've got more reinforcements. Yes, coming over this way. I love the sound effects of this game. Very nice. And they're going to come over this way. Very cool shields on these guys. I do like that. So they're going to charge across the walls and attack these guys on the other flank. More and more troops jumping down on the walls. And then we have some more towers coming over this way. So I'm taking on another spear sergeant. And this is my more elite infantry going on these walls. And then over on this flank, we've got another group of soldiers. They're going to take on the crossbows. These guys are dead. Yeah, I'm not going to let them escape. Crossbows are so important. You don't want to lose your troops like that. All right, so let's do some slow motion here. Let's see what's going on the other side. Wow, Jackie Fish. Oh, wow. Okay, so on his side, nobody is even defending the walls. Hungary is going to fall back over here and hold this wall. This is actually a pretty cool looking wall. I do like how it kind of like branches off. You know, it's like inside this little port area. So you got this nice bridge here. So Jackie Fish, he's pushing up the ram, but he actually had some difficulty here because his men were not listening. I guess they weren't well disciplined. Maybe it is a bad thing to send in weaker troops because they're freaking out right now. They can't get the ram to the wall, so that's not a good sight. But he'll figure it out. But the archers up here, he's got some peasant archers firing down at Jackie Fish's position, and he left his artillery right in the open. And now we've got some Rus mercenaries going into the fight, and these guys are going to slaughter these guys. They're going to be no match. And now the infantry is conquering the gates, so he can no longer have to worry about that. So the arrow towers in Attila are just ridiculous. They get so many kills, and I think it was a big mistake for the attackers, or I'm sorry, not the attackers, the defenders, to not hold the walls, because if they can keep those arrow towers firing, they will rack up so many kills. Like, the towers are that OP. They are crazy insane. So you always, in Attila, hold the damn walls. Never give them up, because you will get a lot of kills. I promise you that. But my swordsmen doing pretty well. Nothing crazy's going on. I do have some swordsmen who were able to sneak into the gate. But they took a lot of this is the same unit that was pushing the ram, so they took a lot of early casualties. But they are starting to waver because they're getting outnumbered by the sergeants from Aragon. But I have some troops going down from the walls, attacking the troops who are protecting the gate. I also have some crossbows firing through the gate, and here comes a charge. Oh, but the oil is gonna come down on my men. You hear the oil? There they go. They're charging in right into my elite infantry, and then we got more sergeants joining the fight over here. So we got a pretty big brawl over at the gates. This is a very important part of the battle. I'm doing everything I can to quickly defeat his resistance, because again, those towers are just really doing a number on my troops. So I'm just trying to get these guys off the walls, but the spearmen, they're tough to crack. They are tough to crack. So I think I'm having a little bit more luck over here. But still, they're not wavering. They may be losing, but they're not wavering, which is what I want them to do. Let's head back over to this side, see what Jackie Fish is doing. Okay, so he's slowly advancing. He has a lot less action going on as we speak. I'm right now facing the most resistance. And, ooh, this isn't good. I've got some troops over here breaking at the gate. My crossbow's still back there, if you can see them. Let me zoom in. There they are, firing through the gate. Oh, look at the dead bodies over there. It's so cinematic. It's so great. But yeah, they're gonna sit back and try to fire at the flank of these sergeants. They're not firing too much, are they? No, they're just kind of standing there. This is not good, guys. I need you paying attention. Oh well. They're mostly absorbing the arrow fire from the towers. The rest of my army is moving forward, so I got my spears. I got some cav and stuff pushing forward, my halberdiers. But, you know, my main force that's supposed to take out the walls, they're really struggling, so I might have to send up reserves, which I didn't necessarily want to send forward right away. But, you know, desperate times, desperate measures. Go back to the cinematic view here. Very cool, very cool. Got a nice fight between sergeants and some elite infantry of mine, the Serbian auxiliary swordsmen. And we'll go back, turn on the HUD. Look at this, more troops are breaking. I had the spear unit surrounded. Finally, the spears are wavering, but both of my swordsmen are breaking, even though I had them surrounded, and that's because of the arrow towers. They do that much damage. And I was moving up my my catapults so I could take out those arrow towers. I was trying to save my ammo for like defenses. You know, I could fire into huge blobs of troops. But I gotta take out those arrow towers because this is bad. This is really bad. Let's head over this way. I've got some crossbows now. Now that I gained control of this part of the wall, I'm setting up some crossbows to fire down at the troops who are just kind of stationary over here. So spear sergeants, here's their point of view. Oh, geez. Let's see. I don't know. My crossbows, they don't seem to be firing that quickly. Now, I was using heavy shot on the crossbows. I know that slows down the rate of fire, but I didn't think it was going to be that slow. I don't know. They're kind of firing. I guess it's just the wall. Ooh, they're getting some returning fire as well. Oh, jeez. All right, so let's head over this way. Things are getting pretty serious. Let's do a tactical view. So Jackfish, she's moving in some cav. We got a lot of pavis from the Hungarians holding up some defenses. And we also got some gendarmes going this way, which could be a concern. I am slowly breaking the infantry up on the walls. You can see that they're wavering. And now he's falling back to the streets, to the choke points, which is a very wise decision. You don't want to keep throwing troops to the walls when you know it's a defeat, essentially. You know, it's a suicide, you know, mission. But the cataphracts, they are just kind of holding back here. I think he's going to wait for a better opportunity to use them. And, yeah, this cav was getting me a little concerned because I have a lot of units over here that are very vulnerable to cav charges, like my swordsmen. And they've taken some pretty heavy casualties because of those arrow towers. But thankfully, we did conquer the gate. And it looks like the bleeding is going to stop now that I've conquered all of the outer wall. Now I'm going to prepare my army and get them ready for the next layer of defense. These guys right here. He's got his men in shield wall, which is really cool. Spears sergeants, tier 2. They're pretty good. They are certainly pretty good. Yeah, so I'm going to send more and more archers up on this wall to keep peppering down this defense. Like, why go in when I don't have to? You know, take a slower approach. Now, I am losing some crossbows. But, you know, I'd rather him waste his ammo on my crossbows rather than my infantry. So I can't complain too much there. Alright, so I think at this part of the battle, I could not see his cav. And I also did not see this reserve kind of waiting near this, what is this, like a church or almost like a barracks? It almost looks like a university of some sort. Somewhere where you can have some parties. I'm not really sure, but that's a nice courtyard. That is that. You know, it's the small details in Total War that just really make it come to life. I do enjoy that. But now I've got my halberdiers, and these guys are the tools of success in this mod. These guys are so important, and they look really cool. Yeah, cheer, boys. They're like, yes. They're cheering for the victorious dead who have conquered the first wall. Soon they will get into position and finish this battle for the Grand Principality of Serbia. And here's the other halberdier unit. Again, cheering. They know we're looking at them. They're like, all right, Knights of Apollo, check us out. We're about to do battle. We're about to die for Apollo. All right, so at this point, I noticed the troops over here. I'm like, okay, he has soldiers over here. That's okay, because these are halberdiers. And I'm just going to line them up. But even though, you know, they're really far away from this tower, they're still firing at them in the back. So I'm sending over my cav to conquer this tower so they would stop firing at them. And then if we look on the other side, we do have a bit of a tussle here. We've got some Rus mercenaries taking on these Pavi spears. These guys are really tough to crack. I don't know if you've seen the older videos, but they will fight forever. Like, it's ridiculous. So he's probably not going to make a lot of headway here. He needs to break through. And, oh, what do we got here? We got some cav charges. All right, so he just wiped out some sergeants. That was nasty. That was a really good charge. And the unit is down to 78. It originally had 120. So you got to watch out for that heavy cav, that shock cav charge. And now my infantry is pushing forward here. My halberdiers, I decided to push them in because I had the advantage. I mean, you're not going to beat halberdiers. The best way to beat halberdiers is firing at them with, like, crossbows or sending your own halberdiers to fight them. And then we've got the cav, the gendarmes from the Crown of Aragon. I'm using my own cav to protect the flank of my army. So he did not want me to capture those towers over there because they are a great support for his army. So they're gonna retreat. They're gonna fall back to the towers. And I've got the reason they're retreating is because I have some swordsmen coming in. Let's actually let's do some slow-mo, guys. Let's see what's going on in other places of the battle. So Jackie Fish, he broke through the sergeants over here. He just destroyed them with a really good cav charge. Now he's got open ground. This is exactly what he wanted. The reason he broke through here is now he can get behind the spears. So check this out. We're gonna enjoy some cav charges over here. Actually, that's not the kind of angle I want. Let's get a better angle. Do normal speed. He's gonna line up his heavy shock cav. Get them ready. You are the brave knights of Nicaea. Charge in. Yes. Just melting those spears. He also has some Pavi's crossbowmen, which look really cool. Look at these. Look at the armor on these Pavi's crossbows. Oh my god, what is that? Another cav charge. Oh, the Hungarian king charging into his own men. That was very devastating. And now we've got the other heavy cav charging into the fight. Just breaking these strategic defenses. I do like the Hungarian king's armor. It looks really awesome. Let's see how the other fights are going on. How's it going over here? We got the Rus mercenaries. Still fighting. It's going to be a while, guys. It's going to be a while. Now the Varangian guard. Look at... Okay, this unit. This unit can break through the spears. That's what they're made for. Those heavy axes to just shatter those the shields. Let's get like a bird's eye view of this street battle. Uh-oh, general has fallen. Oh, that's right. Okay, so the Hungarian general, he was shot down from the crossbows because, you know, the crossbows are in range. And he's like, you know what? If he's going to put his general in the fight, I'm going to focus him down with my, my crossbows. So he took out a ton of the general's bodyguard and, of course, the general. Here comes a hammer and anvil into the back of the those spears there. And the Varangian guard should be able to break through. Let's head back over to my side because things are getting pretty interesting. I'm now trying to take out this position. I've got my Serbian auxiliary swordsmen with the support of my archers up here. So they're firing down. And there goes the other general. How did he die? Not really sure. Not sure at all. Or was that the Hungarian general? Enemy general dead. Let's see. Okay. That's where the Hungarian general dies. Alright. So, never mind. I thought he died earlier. That's weird. Who died then? Maybe it was just like the general's breaking. I'm not sure. But we are breaking through here. His spear sergeants are losing hope. They've taken a lot of pressure from the crossbows and now my infantry. Also, in the courtyard on this side, I am slowly inching forward. My halberdiers are just wrecking lives. And my catapult is now firing. Oh yeah, firing at the retreating troops. Woohoo! That's what I'm talking about. So they're gonna fall back to the final stage of their defense. But I'm not gonna let them go without taking some casualties. Of course, you can't just let them run without, you know, losing anything. So you gotta do something. Here comes another volley from the catapults. Let's see this. Take out those pikes. Yes. Pikes are going to be very important to his defense, so this is a really good target to go after. Here comes more volleys. Take them out. Oh, it's a small target, so you're not going to hit it a lot, but Anyways, turn on the... Oh, no, let's turn back on the hood. So Jackie Fish's cav, they're pretty depleted, but they served their country very bravely. And he's going to use what's left of them to run down the retreating forces. He's going to try to go for these crossbows over here. Woo! Meanwhile, the artillery is firing. Very nice. So we're using some teamwork over here. I got some swordsmen going over here to finish the sergeants. The buildings are burning because of my artillery. And we have conquered the courtyard. My halberdiers are now cheering. Huzzah! We've done it, lads. Keep pushing. I'm going to capture this. This will improve our morale. And the fighting is still going on over here. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. These pavis are just so good. And they're so much fun to watch. Especially using them. And, you know, all you need is one of them. And you just know that they're going to hold the entire time. Oh, but you got to watch out for that general. We got the Emperor's bodyguard charging into the back of the spears. Even with their flank exposed, they do not waver. And they're confident. They're confident right now. That's pretty insane. But those crossbows are dead. They are gone. And I'm slowly regrouping my men over here and trying to think of a new strategy. I'm trying to figure out a way to take out this defense. I have done a lot of damage to the pikemen with my catapult, but I'm pretty much out of ammo. I think this is like my last volley right here. And he is also firing back with his catapult. So if you can see, but he's pretty much out of ammo as well. This is his last volley. Oh, did he fire? I don't know. Here comes another volley. Or another shot. Yeah, some people get upset because I call artillery shots volleys. Which I know, it's not a volley, but, you know, whatever. In the heat of commentary, in the heat of battle, you say things that aren't 100% accurate. I do it all the time. I'm sure most of you guys know that. But yeah, I'm using my crossbows pretty aggressively here. Just trying to take out some of his defenders before I move in. The fight is still going on over here. He finally broke through some spears thanks to the general charging in the rear. But he's going to have to take care of these guys now. If we look over at the gate, we do have a lot of defenders over here. There's an opening in the gate. He's got his halberdiers. We've got some sergeants, 2 units of sergeants. And they're going to be holding the gate, which this looks really cool. Look at that. Open it. They're defending it. They're defending the open road. Cool. But Jackie Fish, he's not going to go that way. He's just... why? Why should he when he can go this way, which is much less defended? His, oh, is he breaking over here? Yeah. His guard is shattered. He needs to get his general. There we go. There we go. General charging behind these Pavis shields. And now we got the Varangian Guard. They will most certainly clean up this mess. Let's head back this way. So what he did over here, he charged in his catapult crew. This is actually a really smart idea because it's going to silence my crossbows for a little while. And actually, I think they start wavering. Yeah, they are wavering because of the artillery crew. I'm going to go ahead and send forward some Serbian spearmen to try to stop them. There we go. Stop those damn artillery crew. Oh, halberdier, you just wrecked that guy. Oh, that, whoa. You're going to let that peasant wreck your fellow halberdier soldier, dude? Come on, break. How are these, how is the crew still fighting? Okay, that was a delayed kill. But the crossbow is still firing. He still has a decent amount of crossbow ammo, so I need to be careful. I don't want to clump up my troops. But I'm kind of just resting my army, and I'm kind of waiting for Jackie Fish to kill his opponent, which he only has one more unit to go until we can both advance. Those Pavis, man. Those freaking Pavis. Here's more cav charges coming in. The Varangian Guard doing everything they can to break through these bastards. Alright. I'm going to send forward my crossbows again. This is pretty hilarious. Watch this, guys. Alright, so I'm charging them up. They're going to get ready to fire. Alright, they're in position, and they break. That's alright. You know what? They used some of the... They made the enemy waste his ammo a little bit. So that's less kills on my infantry. But I still have my archers up on this wall. They're kind of firing. Yeah, the ones in this corner are firing. There we go. Fire at the defenders. And I have a lot of swordsmen over here kind of waiting in reserve. but my army's pretty depleted. They've seen a lot of action. Jackie Fish's army is a little bit healthier, not by much, but still a little bit. And he's still, still just fighting these guys. Will they just break? I don't think so. I don't think. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, slow down here. This is where I make my assault. And let me actually, let me pause it. Because this is actually really, really important when taking on this piked position. This is a tactic. It might not work all the time. But if we look at the tactical view, he's got his crossbows back here, and he has his pikemen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my halberdiers. My halberdiers are probably my best unit on trying to take on these guys head on. So they're going to run in, and I'm going to go for one pike unit. So I'm charging in my halberdiers. There they go. That was actually a really good charge because did you notice how his pikemen were out of position because he was moving them forward? And I'm not going to attack the pikes back there. Notice how I'm shifting away from those pikemen. And then I'm sending all troops over to take care of this one. And we are just wrecking this one because he was out of position. Now the reason, let's go back to slow motion. The reason that I'm not going for these pikemen now is because they're going to have to march forward, right? So they're going to have to push forward to attack the flank. Now that's a big issue, right? Because now my flank is exposed. But if they do push forward, their flank is going to be open from attack from reserves over here. So if he actually goes for the push, I'm going to be able to send spearmen, or not spearmen, swordsmen to attack behind these pikemen. And these are not amazing pikemen. If they are outflanked, they will be slaughtered. So let's go back to normal speed. Sorry, I didn't want to get all like strategy, like crazy like strategy on you guys, but I thought it was a pretty cool strategy. And it actually paid off because it tricked him into pushing into the back of my army. And look, guys, his flank is open right here. So now I'm charging in the swordsman. This is actually really hilarious. Look at this. What is this? What is this? Oh my god. Glitch in the matrix, guys. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, there goes my swords. And they're going to be able to run through this gap right here. Get behind the pikemen. There we go. Get in there, bash. Look at, they're wavering before he even got there. That's insane. And now the other pikes are wavering. We broke through the pike defense. Now he's sending in more sergeants to try to contain me. But my halberdiers are going to do an excellent job at, getting rid of those sergeants. Jackie Fish is now making a push. We've got some handgunners who are trying to fire right in front of the Rus mercenaries. They were a little too slow, and now, oh, a couple of them fired there, but it's a little too late, and now they're stuck in melee. They are stuck in melee against the mercenaries. And they should break pretty quickly. This is like really the only thing that's stopping Jackie Fish. I think he needs to fall back these troops over here and just let Jackie Fish push forward. Jackie Fish, he kept some troops in reserve just to make the enemy, make the defenders, worried about this area, to make him, send troops over here to defend that area. Let's head back over here because this is where most of the fighting is. I've got my my infantry taking on some sergeants and some halberdiers. Oh man, the halberdiers are just amazing. They are just doing such a great job. Now his crossbows are open for attack, but now he's sending in his final reserve, which is his general. So they're going to form up here. Here they come. Now, at this point of the fight, if you look at the battlefield, or this tactic, or the tactical map, he's sending in his general, but we do have some crossbows at the flank, which are a little concerning. I don't have any cav left over, so since my infantry right here is blocking a path, preventing them from stopping my general, I'm going to charge in my general and go for those crossbows. So let's go back, see that charge. Yes, indeed. I'm going to wipe out those crossbows. Very nice, and they should break pretty quickly. I'm going to go for the next wave now. There's no slowing down. Oh, yeah. Take them out. They were not in a good position, so we were able to get a good charge there. And honestly, there's nothing he could have done about that. He didn't have any units to stop me. He probably should have just retreated back over this way. He left a lot of like open ground for my cav. This is where he pulls out his general. Not a good idea because your men are really easy to kill when they're running away. Just watch me slaughter his men. And that actually causes his general to Well, they're wavering a little bit. Yeah, they are wavering. So he's going to reform. He knows he must stand his ground and fight. My halberdiers are going to reform. There they go. Push. Oh, yeah. Go halberdier. Oh, look at them. They're just pushing their way in. I love it. Pure muscle just breaking through these forces. And we got a pretty good fight over here. He's holding a lot better on this side. Let's see what's going on with Jackie Fish. Oh, this is actually really cool, guys. All right, so we got the halberdiers. They are shaken. The general is dead. So they don't really have a lot of hope in this. So instead of just attacking halberdiers, because Jackie Fish, he didn't have a way to get around these guys, he's just going to sit back and use his archers. There's no rush. There's no need to send your men to their deaths. Just use your archers, use your skirmishers, and weaken their numbers. That's a very smart move there. Very wise, patient move. Now the general is breaking. Actually, he was shattered, but he is returning once again. So we're going to keep pursuing until we kill this damn general. There we go. Take him out, halberdiers. Kill him. I think the general's right there in the red. I think that's him. He looks pretty unique. They're down to 14. Oh, there they go. They break. Finally. My general was victorious in killing the archers over here. I've got the rest of my swordsmen going in, crossing the river. And now it's time to make the assault on the town center. He is breaking over here because of the death of the general. News travels quickly. And I saw the halberdiers. All right, let's do some slow motion once again. I saw the halberdiers, and I was like, okay, I need to help Jackie Fish out here because he needs to push through and take the glory of attacking the town center. So I've got my general going in, and they are going to line up for a disgusting cav charge. This cav charge is so disgusting and so good, it's probably gonna make you vomit. Let's go ahead and just see his point of view, the general's point of view. Actually, let's hold on. Hold on. Let's do normal speed and do insert. Here we go, guys. Right into the backs of those damn halberdiers. Oh, yes. And they are just evaporated from the battlefield. And now Jackie Fish's army can just clean them up, march through. His men are cheering to the sight of their allies' general. Huzzah! Well done. Well done. And then Jackie Fish is attacking the gates. So this is another opportunity for me to send my general over and get some hammer and anvil. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. My men are just storming the town center, and they're going for the final defense, which he's holding up right at this bridge. Really cool defense. Some handgunners. So just trying to take him out. Here comes my general. Let's see, where is he? Where is he? There's the rascal. So he's coming over this way. I do make a mistake with this cav charge. What I do is I use a rally ability, which I didn't know, but it slows down your charge. Is that the general right there? I think that's the general. Anyways, here comes the cav. This is where I slow down. See, I was trying to improve his men's morale. I should have just continued to charge. That would have been very helpful on the morale. But it's still a pretty good charge there. Looks like the other cav's just out. They're just leaving this battlefield. There we go. They're starting to break. And yeah, it looks like we're going to have victory here today with some pretty good tactics. I really enjoyed this battle. It wasn't exactly super close, but I think it had some pretty game-changing tactics. Not like game-changing, but the tactics really helped in taking a pretty easy victory. But yeah, I'm taking out the handgunners, and that's really it. My general is stuck in melee fighting these guys in the gate here, taking out these sergeants, and that is going to end the battle. It's still, it's still fairly close. It wasn't like a slaughter, but it was a great battle. Let's end the battle so we can see the results here. I hope you enjoyed the use of the tactical view. I definitely need to try to do that more often, and I'll be sure to use that in Warhammer whenever that comes out, May 24th. But anyways, looking at my army, my catapults got 20 kills or so. Not great, but hey, whatever. It looks cool, right? My knights only getting 15 kills. That's because they were killing other knights, so they didn't really get an opportunity to charge into infantry. My very elite, I think this is the Serbian auxiliary swordsmen. They did great. 2 of them did great. The other 2 kind of suffered, but I think one of those were the ones pushing the ram to the gate. And then I've got my Bashtiniks. They did okay. One got 220, which was really good. My halberdiers, like I said, they lead the way. One getting just short of 200 and the other one getting 154. My spears getting about 56, 40 kills. General getting 175, and most of those are crossbows and halberdiers. So those are some pretty quality kills. My crossbows doing okay. They did pretty solid, 40, 50 kills each. Here are the results of the other armies. We'll look at Jackie Fish's army here. His cav did really good too, over 100 kills. His Rus mercenaries did okay. His guard did okay, but really the Varangian guard saved the day, 210 kills, and his crossbows did pretty good. His general did okay. Looking at Hungary, he had a very small army, but very elite. His spears did pretty good. I mean, one got 27, but the other got, close to 100, over 100. His halberdiers did not do well. That's because, we just outpositioned them, took them out, and the sergeants did pretty bad. But yeah, that's the battle, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to answer that survey if you have time. It means a lot to me. That way I can improve my videos. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, leave a comment, and share. And if you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time in the next glorious battle.